Hey guys, today we'll discuss inappropriate shifts in verb tenses. So what is inappropriate shift in verb tenses? The tenses of the verb shows the time in which the action of a sentence takes place. When you shift the tense, you shift the time of an action. As we have learned before, verbs come in three tenses: past tense, present tense, and future tense. For the purpose of review, I've written here some sentences in simple tenses. Let's take a look. In this sentence, the girls like flowers. Like is the verb. A verb in the present tense tells about an action that is happening now. Be careful, it must agree with its subject. If the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. So in this sentence, girls, the subject is plural. Therefore, like is plural too. As we have learned before, plural verbs always end singular verbs always end with s, and plural verbs without s. Next sentence. Our school planned huge cast party. Planned is the verb in this sentence and it is ending with ed. It shows that we are talking about something past. The past tense used to describe things that have already happened in the past. It might be yesterday or last week or last month. So this sentence is in simple past tense. Next sentence. You will read about drifting land in the next lesson. Will. Future tense tells about an action that are going to happen. An auxiliary verb, will, shows that we are talking about future tense. That's we are talking about something that will happen in the future. So this sentence is in simple future tense. So what is inappropriate shift in verb tense? A verb tense tells the time of the action. Shifting between verb tense might cause confusion for your readers because they will not understand which tense you are talking about. Let's see examples. Yesterday, I made cupcake and it tastes delicious. In this sentence, made is verb. And taste is verb. In this sentence, made is past tense and speaker is using taste is in present tense. So it shows that writer is shifting from one tense to another tense. And this is not appropriate. So we have to change taste into past tense because we can tell that writer or speaker, he is talking about past tense because his sentence has started with yesterday. So obviously he is talking about past tense. To correct the sentence, we'll change tasted. Yesterday I made cupcake and it tasted delicious. Now both verbs are in the past tense. So the sentence is correct now. Next sentence. I raised my hand and asked my teacher a question. Raise and ask. These are two verbs in this sentence. In this sentence, the verb raise is in the present tense and verb ask is in the past tense. There is shift from present tense to past tense. In the sentence, both actions happen in the same time. So there is no reason to change the tense. So to correct the inappropriate shift in the tense, we should use both tense in the present tense or in the past tense. Therefore, to correct the sentence, we have to change both in present tense or past tense. For example, I raise my hand and ask. We have to remove this D. And E. Or raised, or we have to change this verb and use both verbs in past tense. I raised my hand and asked my teacher a question. Whenever we want to check. Next example. Next example, we use coal as a source of energy. We also used water power. In this sentence, use is verb and there is inappropriate shift in verb. Use is in present tense and used is in past tense. So again, writer must use both verbs in the same tense, in present tense or in past tense. Next example. Yesterday, Layla walked to the bus stop and waited for her friend. Next example. Yesterday, Layla walked to the bus stop and waits for her bus to arrive. In this sentence, walked is in past tense and waits is in present tense. Tense should remain consistent. Avoid shift in the verb tense. Let's discuss what is inappropriate shift in verb tense. A verb tense tells the time of an action. Shifting between verb tense might cause confusion for your readers because they will not understand which tense you are talking about. Let's see examples. Yesterday, I made cupcake and it tastes delicious. In this sentence, made is in past tense, but taste is in present tense. So it might create confusion for your readers. To correct the mistake, we have to write both verbs in present tense or past tense. But obviously in this sentence, writer has started sentence with yesterday, so it means he's talking about the past tense. So we have to correct this tense. Test. So the correct sentence will be, I made cupcake and it tasted delicious. Next sentence. I raise my hand and ask my teacher a question. In this sentence, verb raise is in present tense and ask is in past tense. We have two verbs, raise and ask. So to correct the inappropriate shift in tense, we should use both tense in the present tense. So to correct inappropriate shift in the tense, we should use both tense in the past or present. In this sentence, if we are talking about or we want to write about present tense, I raise my hands and ask my teacher a question without ed. Or if speaker is talking about past tense, we have to change this verb. I raised my hand and asked my teacher a question. Both verb will be in past tense, or both verb should be in present tense. In this sentence, we use coal as a source of energy and we also used water power. In this sentence, use and used. Use is in present tense and used is in past tense. So the shift in tense is not appropriate. Next example. Yesterday, Layla walked to the bus stop and waits for the bus to arrive. Walked and waits. We have two verbs. Walked is in past tense and waits is in present tense. So in this sentence, verb has been shifting from past tense to present tense. So we have to correct this shift. And we can tell the sentence is about past tense because it has yesterday. So Layla walked for the shop. So the sentence will be, yesterday Layla walked to the bus stop and waited for the bus to arrive. We have to correct this verb to remove inappropriate shift. So whenever we want to check, we are not shifting verb inappropriately, we should do. So whenever we want to check we are not shifting verbs inappropriately, what we should do? Circle all the verbs and check you're following correct verb tense or not. If it is not correct, just correct it. Your sentence should follow present tense or past tense.